The video is a time-lapse recording, one image every half second. It was released after a Freedom of Information request from a pressure group, Judicial Watch. Their director, not somebody from the administration, said it would dampen conspiracy theories, but instead it ignited the debate once more.
One of the reasons we asked for them, for these videos, was because these conspiracy theorists were saying that the government was withholding the 9/11 video of the Pentagon attack. And I said, well, one way to undermine that issue is get them to release the video. And indeed we have. Of course, that hasn't satisfied them. The videos, to me, show a plane. The first video showed the nose of the plane entering and then the explosion. The second video looks like a commercial airliner, admittedly going quite fast, hitting into the building. It doesn't show a cruise missile. It doesn't show a decoy plane. It shows an airplane.
The images are actually very similar to some released in 2002. They were used in this presentation by doubters of the official version. Another dissenting film was made by Dave von Kleist, who today argued the new tape reinforced his doubts.
In regard to the Pentagon, the photographs that were taken before the collapse of the outer ring, for the most part, were never shown to the general public. And that in itself raises some very serious questions. The collapse period of the Pentagon did not occur until approximately half an hour after the event. But the photographs taken before the collapse clearly show that the Pentagon area, the outer ring, was still standing, and that there was a very small hole in the first floor, maybe 16 to 20 feet. The question is, how do you take a 757, a Boeing 757, and slam it into the outer ring of the Pentagon, leaving only a 20-foot hole maximum and no recognizable wreckage on the outside of the building?
Many people are bound to examine the critical few frames of the footage released yesterday and ask, where on earth is American Airlines Flight 77 supposed to be in this stream of images? The answer is exactly where independent experts had said it was. Purdue University was involved in a major study of the attack as part of a civil engineering project. They computer modeled how the aircraft had struck the building. Their images show that the American Airlines plane flew in at very low level, just a few feet above the ground. They also mapped the way the jet was shattered by the structure's massive walls. Analysis of the key frames released yesterday shows something heading for the building at the angle and height shown in that study. But flying at anything up to 400 miles per hour past a fixed camera of poor quality, it shows up only as a blur of white. Those hoping to read the American Airlines logo would have been disappointed. But there was wreckage in the airline's colours at the site, and maybe more footage still with the government.
The question is whether any of those surveillance videos capture the actual attack. And we aim to get them if they're available. And we're not going to stop with just the release of this video. We think it's important that the historical record be complete about the 9/11 attacks.
Those who deny the official version don't have answers for all sorts of questions either. If it was a missile, who fired it? What was done with the real Flight 77? And how could dozens or hundreds of people involved in such a conspiracy have been kept quiet? If Al-Qaeda had nothing to do with the Pentagon attack, why hasn't Osama bin Laden said so in one of his many tapes? On the contrary, of course, militant Islamists were quick to claim it. But those who've sought to cast doubt on images of all the 9/11 attacks feel the international stakes justify continued activism.
Everything that's going on with foreign policy in this country, and also indeed around the world, is predicated on what happened on 9/11. And if we're not even sure what type of a vehicle or aircraft hit the Pentagon, and we're getting mixed messages from the Pentagon, withheld videos from the Pentagon, and our own news agencies are basically blatantly contradicting themselves, we have every reason and we have the duty to continue to ask questions until we get definitive answers.
It's the absence of clear images of the Pentagon attack that feeds doubt. Even so, the first of the New York jets was filmed by only 2 people. At the Pentagon, a much more obscure location, a plane flying in at crazily low altitude was seen by a handful of witnesses, but none of them equipped to record it clearly. Rumours abound still of footage held by the FBI from the Sheraton Hotel or a petrol station, but the likelihood is that even if such tapes exist, they'll not stop the doubters from questioning what really happened.